Hi, Design Tech students. So today we are going to be creating beams, or basically columns that go a column that is going to sit horizontally across two vertical columns. So the first thing you're going to need is a column with tabs created to adhere to the base. If you're not sure how to make this, you can see the creating a column video. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, let's see, you'll need the ruler and pen for creating the column, but for attaching it, you're only going to need the pen, scissors, and tape today. Okay, so let me show you what this horizontal column or beam is supposed to do. So I'm going to try and lay these flat so that you could see what it would look like. But imagine these two columns standing straight up. Okay, it's just placed this way so it's easier for me to show you guys what's going on. Okay, so let's say I have these two columns placed on my foam core board. But they're somewhat held up by the diagonal supports. But as the coaster is moving through and I've got more pieces and more weight on it, maybe some decorations, it's going to need something else to make it sturdy. So what you can do is add a column or a piece that says beam, it depends on what you have available to you, across and connect these two columns. It makes sense. Do you see any buildings that are just columns sticking straight up? No, they usually have pieces across from it or floors. And again, that just adds to its structural integrity. Now, originally these tabs were for your piece to attach to the base. But you can see here that by simply folding two along the sides and two kind of up the length of the column, you've got a great attachment point. Okay, so that's how you can attach it on one side. However, if we look to this side, well, it's too close together. This beam doesn't fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this and I'm going to cut it to size. Now, something I want you guys to be careful of is that if you cut it right here, exactly where it meets up with the other column, and you cut that, well, then you're not going to have any attachment point. It's going to end there, and it's going to be super tricky to try and get this to attach. You're going to have to do a whole bunch of finagling with tape. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to mark it here because that's the attachment point. And then I'm going to go to the other side of my column and create a line there, because that's going to be the tab, just like I have on this piece. And if it's a little bit bigger than over here, that's fine. We can always cut it down to size if you've got too much. I'd rather it have more material and then I cut it down, because if you cut it too small, then you can't make it any bigger after that cut. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this piece. So I'm actually going to start this way, and because I have it all taped together just so it was easier to hold and show you guys, I'm actually going to kind of go under the fold here and then just cut straight around. If you want to measure along all sides, that is a great idea and perfectly acceptable. I'm just doing this a little bit quicker for time's sake. And again, I measured it larger than it needed to be to give me a little wiggle room and room to make mistakes if needed. So now I've got that cut down to size there. I am going to cut where the tabs or attachment points are going to be. This one's a little bit thicker because it's got two pieces. No worries. I'm just going to fold everything open, so it's going to look just like the other side. Looks like we've got a little hanging piece. Boop. Snip that. Okay, and there we go. So it should look kind of what we alluded to being like petals on a flower in our column video on both sides. Now, again, imagine these are standing straight up. Obviously, we're laying down, so I can do this easily. But I'm going to have my two pieces, and I would tape it like so. So I would tape on the sides, I would tape along the length of the column, and that's going to give my structure a whole lot of extra support. It can also be used kind of like a shelf, right? So if you need another part to hold on an element of your coaster, it can definitely be used for that as well. So it's multi-functional. Okay, so that is how you create a beam or a horizontal column to help hold your coaster together.